All right. Hello, everyone. How's everyone doing today? Whoa. I need to adjust the location of my mouse and keyboard. Let's turn this thing on. How's everyone doing? Wow, my mouse cable is caught. I'm trying to shift over. I usually stream a little bit to the left of where I normally sit when I use my computer, and my mouse cable's caught on something. I can't shift over. It's very uncomfortable. How's everyone doing today? Hope you're all having a great Thursday. We're here to talk some Warzone. No, not that Warzone. The other Warzone. Let's see. So we're going to be talking about some update stuff. So a couple days ago, there was a brand new update to Warzone. We're going to go over everything in the Warzone. I'm going to be answering any questions. Not asking. I'm going to be answering questions that you guys have. I know there's some questions on the forum, and you guys are welcome to ask questions in the Twitch chat as well. I really need to fix my mouse cable. Hold on one second. All right. Well, it's better. It's not perfect, but it'll do. Just gotta untangle some cables. All right. Let's see. Welcome to everyone in the chat. Good to see you. Let's first go over this update. So, 2 days ago, we had a new update. It's called 5.21. That's something I've been working. Oh, also, if you guys could tell me if the audio quality is fine. I reinstalled my operating system since the last time I streamed. So I had to set up the volume of the mic and the music and everything again. And I did a quick test. It sounded okay, but let me know if music's too loud or if you can't hear me. Let's see. Any questions I missed in the chat? I did notice one thing as I started streaming. Just Dutchman. So we're going to talk about mod stuff. Dutchman's here, and he was talking about the text overhead isn't working, so I wrote that down. I'm going to look into that. I don't know if it's working or not. Not a Warzone player, but a Warzone idle guy, and thanks for making an enjoyable idle game that doesn't beat you over the head with ads. You're welcome. I'm glad you enjoy it. So let's see. Yeah, so I make both Warzone Classic and Warzone Idle. But most of what we're going to be talking about today, at least as far as the update, all pertains to Warzone Classic. But I'm willing to answer questions about Idle as well if you guys have them. Love Warzone Idle and playing it a ton. Thanks, I'm glad you like it. Did you write Warzone in JavaScript, vanilla, or other libraries? Love the game. So I did not, because Warzone works on many platforms. It needs to work on iOS and Android and everything else. So I did not write it in vanilla JavaScript. I actually used a tool to convert the code from C# to JavaScript, because C# is the original language that Warzone is written in. Okay, so update. Commanders no longer require membership. So if you don't know what commanders are, you probably know what commanders are. You guys know what commanders are, right? Oops, that's not a commander level. Commanders are, this little dude that you move around on the map. You can attack with your commander. Oh, yeah. That if you want to create a game with a commander, it used to require that you purchase a membership. That no longer is the case. Commanders are now free feature. They unlock when you get to level 38. Just like most levels in Warzone, they have or most features in Warzone, they have a level progression. As you play the game, you unlock more and more features. Once you get 38, then you can use commanders. It used to be something you have to pay for. Now it's free. So that's cool. That's just kind of my general philosophy with new features are they're member only when they're brand new, and then over time we'll release some of the old member features to non-members. So commanders have been around since, what? Commanders were introduced when? 2016? That's quite a while ago. It should not have taken this long. I'm going to try to be a little bit faster with new rate new features filter through to non-members in the future. But yeah, so that's a cool thing. Commanders now work with one army stand guard. This is something that is a long time coming. So in the past, I just talked about what commanders are. One army stand guard is this feature you can enable right here. One army must stand guard, either on or off. It used to be, so this setting makes it so that one army has to be on every territory. Honestly, I don't know if I'm a big fan of this feature. It's kind of like from old school Risk. And the reason the Risk had to have this is because it's a board game and you have to remember who owns every territory. So you have to have at least one army there so you remember who owns it. But in modern days with computers, we can have 0 armies on a territory and still remember who owns it because we have the color of the territory. So these days, it's not really necessary, but some people still like it. And it used to be you couldn't use these two settings together. And now you can. So you can see, like, I still can only attack with 4 from here, even though there's 5 on it. And I have a commander down here. My commander can attack with 4. You could get into some weird situations with this, where, like, if I have a commander in 3 armies, as I do right here, if somebody attacks this territory with, like, 6 armies, it'll kill the 3, but not the commander. And then you'll have a commander in 0. And normally, you're not... One army stand guard means that you're supposed to have one army everywhere. And yet, you'll have a 0, which kind of flies in the face of one army stands guard. But that's just something you have to live with if you want to use these two settings together. Because there's no real good way of handling it. I did... Stand guard prevents a player from getting free expansion. That is true. It does slow down expansion, which some people like, and there is some strategic value to that. Otherwise, you could use one army to take over the entire board. Yeah, one territory at a time. What was the initial problem then? The problem is that you can have 0s on the map, which flies in the face of one army stand guard. I thought about some other solutions to solve this problem, but they all have problems. Like, you could say, oh, the commander is the army standing guard. The problem with that is then the player can't move the commander unless they can deploy an army there, which gets really, like, weird in the UI. Like, if you deploy your armies and then you try to move your commander, and then it's like, oh, you can't move your commander because there's 0 there. Then you have to go back to deployment. You got to delete an army somewhere, and you got to add it to that spot, and then you can move your commander, which is just kind of weird. Also, if that happens in the middle of a turn, you don't even have a chance to go and deploy an army, right? Like, somebody attacks all your armies, kills down your commander, and 0, and then your commander moves away in that turn, then you have 0 on a territory. And that's also, again, it's fine, but if we were trying to prevent there ever being a 0, that's a problem. 0s on multi-attack gives everyone a chance. Yeah, that's true. In multi-attack and one army stand guard do work pretty well together. Because without it, you're right, you can kind of rampage a little bit too much if there's 0s everywhere. But that can be fun for a wacky template. But anyway, the way it works now is fine. You just got to live with having 0s sometimes. It doesn't really matter, but some purists might whine that, like, oh no, one army stand guards and 0. Tanks mod. So let's talk about tanks. The idea of tanks is something that's been requested for a long time. This is not like what I consider the end all be all, like, best implementation of tanks ever, but it's more of an example. So the main reason to introduce tanks is as an example mod, because the rest of this update is pretty much all going to be talking about mods. Well, actually, there's a little bit in here that's not mod related, but we're going to be talking a lot about all the mod improvements that are available to mod makers today. And the tanks mod is an example of how the new features can be used. So it's kind of presented as an example mod. You're expected, mod authors are expected to take this code and basically improve upon it and make something better. The tanks mod is presented as an example of how you could use the new features. But I do like to make example mods useful in their own right. So, like, this is something that you can still include a tanks mod in your game, and it should work out just fine. So the tank mod works with commerce mode. Commerce mode is, of course, the way, the setting that makes it so you get gold instead of armies directly. So you can spend your gold on armies, or you can spend your gold on tanks. So taking a bonus gets you gold instead of armies directly. So you can configure how much gold it takes to buy a tank. By default, it's 20. You configure how powerful the tanks are. By default, it's 10. And you configure how many tanks each player can have. By default, you can have 2. So if you turn that on, you also have to turn on commerce mode. As I was saying before, you come in here and check this commerce box. And that's it. That's all you need to do to turn on tanks. So then you create a game. And then so it costs 20 to make a tank. Right now I only have 5, so I'm just gonna oops, not there. I'm just gonna save up gold. I'm not gonna deploy any armies, I'm just attacking. Oops. As I deploy armies out of habit. Oh, we can't take this bonus. Okay, we'll deploy enough to take the bonus. And just real quick, I'm going to try to get 20 gold. Don't break my bonus. Well, I'll just hope you don't break the bonus. Hey, you didn't break the bonus. All right, so I have 24 gold now, so I can click this build button. So this is another thing that's new with the mod is this purchase with gold dialogue. And this dialogue's been changed too. Let me catch up on chat. So this dialogue's been changed. It just looks different. Functionality, it's the same as what's existed prior, but the mods now have the ability to extend this dialogue. You can see the mod : tanks has its own little section here. Any mod can add a section to this dialogue now. That's something that's new. So you come in here, armies and cities is stuff that's always existed, but now we have the mod tanks. You can click this purchase a tank for 20 gold. You select the territory where you want to get your tank. You click complete purchase. And then I have 4 armies left, 4 gold left. So I'll deploy those as armies. And you click done. And then, yeah, I don't need to attack. And then the mod gives you a tank. And so you can see now there's this little tank icon right here. And then, so the tank, the way this works in the mod is the tank is basically worth 10 armies. So it's kind of like a commander where the tank cannot be partially damaged. So you can just kind of attack with it like crazy, and you don't need to worry about it taking damage, because as long as it doesn't die, if it takes 10 hits, then it's dead. But other than that, you can just kind of go on a rampage, and you'll see the tank attacks, kills 3, takes no damage. The tank icon is so cute. Thank you. I did not draw the tank icon, but I did choose it. And that's it. That's how the tank mod works. And then you just have a tank. You can only have 2 of them, and that's it. So you can configure the way the tank. Please show us that if you move the purchase tank order all the way top, you get advantage that happens before any deployment, which really helps in such situations. Yeah, okay, that's not really intentional, but yeah, you can do that. Can the tank pass over the sea? Yes, the tank is just like a normal army, so it can go anywhere your armies can go. It's said to be on boats if you're crossing over the sea. That's just the way just like your armies are. Okay, so that's tanks. So this is an example of custom special unit. So the tank is a custom special unit in mod terms. So special unit is like a commander, or the game also has those bosses that are in single player. If you've seen those are special units. The tank is also a special unit. Basically anything on the map that's not an army is considered a special unit. And what mods introduce is the ability for custom special units. And the way this does it is a tank. If you want to see what the code looks like, if you're a Cody. If you're not, don't worry, I'll go over this really fast. You can get this custom special unit builder, and then you can kind of set all these properties on your special unit. So this is what the code to create a tank looks like. You know, name equals tank. The file name is tank.png. The attack power is 10 in this case. That's a variable set to 10. Defense power is 10. Damage to kill it is 10. Damage absorbed when attacked is 10. You can also set like if it can be gifted with a gift card to another player. You can set if you can transfer it to a teammate. So tanks can be transferred to teammates. Meaning if you're in a team game, you can just click over to your teammate's territory and just give them the tank. Mods can control whether or not that's true or not for their special units. You can control whether you can airlift it. You control both with an airlift card, either to yourself or to a teammate. Those are different properties. And you can set whether a special unit is visible to all players. This is a field that was introduced for the bosses, because the bosses are always visible, like you can see them through the fog. And when a mod creates a special unit, they can set whether or not everyone can see it or not. In this case, tanks is set to false, so they're just like a normal unit. But a mod could create a special unit that's just like always visible. Maybe like a Godzilla mod or something, where there's a big boss that everyone has to take down. I don't know. You can do all sorts of interesting stuff. How about making an airplane icon for the airlift card? I mean, there is an airlift icon on the airlift card already, right? I mean, it's really small here, but airlift card right there. This thing. Oh, geez. I don't know how to view image, but yeah. There's a medic mod coming soon. There's already a medic mod. Isn't there? Medic. Special units are medics. But yeah, I assume there's a better medic mod. The old medic mod had to do some hacks because it didn't have access to special units. But now you can actually just create a special unit that is a better version, yes. With a cute little ambulance. Nice. Looking forward to it. Okay, so let's talk about some of the other changes. So, if a game ends where you're actively watching the latest turn play out, it will now continue letting you watch the rest of the turn instead of immediately switching to the end. This is something that's always annoyed me. Basically, this comes up often in 1v1s if you're in the middle of playing another player who surrenders. Like one thing sometimes an opponent will do is while you're watching the latest turn play out, they'll just immediately surrender. And because they clicked the skip to end button, probably because they knew where they were losing. And they're like, let's just see if I got this turn. Nope, I didn't get it. And then they surrender. And then you don't get to watch it play out. You just get the turn skipped. Sometimes you want to see what happened. So it will no longer just cancel. What it used to do is it would just cancel the animations in the middle of you watching them and just go to the end of the game. And now it will actually let it play out and you'll get to see the whole thing happen. Classic. Updated the look of the commerce games. I already talked about that. The dialogue just updated. So there was a bug fix if you use the finish versus AI feature. So when you finish a multiplayer game, you have this finish versus AI button where you can actually keep playing the game as it ended in single player. So I'm just autopiloting through it. But yeah, you could go out and you can play the game. Oh, look, the AI blockaded. That's interesting. That doesn't seem like a very good blockade, but good job, AI. I'm proud of you. What about a mod where you can write new code to the mod game that you're currently playing as you play it? That sounds kind of crazy. I don't know how that would work. I'm planning on asking my boss for an extra week vacation for Christmas so he can make a mod. Sweet. If I was your boss, I would grant it. Now I can watch my opponent's downfall without getting interrupted. Exactly. Do you have any stats on how often finishing versus AI is used? I do not. That happens entirely offline, entirely on your client computer. So I have no idea how often it's used. But I do know, okay, so there was a bug where if there was an active card, like a sanction card in effect or something like that, when you click finish versus AI, then you can come here and there would be a button that says view active cards. That button used to get an error message. So that's fixed. That's all it is. Bumps request to share more info on the 11 most popular maps. Okay, we can look at that. Let's see. Let's see. Do I have that query? Most rated maps. Missing maps. Crap, I thought I had a query to get that. I'm looking through my queries right now on the other monitor. I can't find it right now. I had a query to query the most used maps. Sorry, I can't find it right now. I'll look for it later. Especially about gameplay interface, selecting a country that could filter only active orders in the order window. Ooh, yeah, that could be useful. I recognize that sometimes there's a problem where you need to find the orders if you have a really big game. And you know the territory, but you're like, where is the attack from this territory? Not sure a way to make that really intuitive, but possibly. I'd have to give it some thought. But yeah, I recognize the need for it. I'm not sure exactly how you'd implement it. Custom scenarios only, though, in a year or so. It's hard. What are we talking about? Oh, hard to convert English into Lua without losing full customization. Many thanks. Love the update. You're welcome. I'm glad you enjoy it. Secret data leaks incoming. No split and removing orders is going. Yeah, that's exactly one of the scenarios I was thinking of. We're great for moon orders and no split games, yes. Question, the notifications, instead of adding a new notification for every watch thread response, can you just have a single message indicator of number of new replies? Yeah, I agree that would be a useful feature. I've seen that before as well. The notification system for forum threads is very primitive. It was kind of implemented quickly. I agree that would be a useful addition. Or even, I mean, the simpler thing we could do with less work is just to have it not create a new notification if a notification is already there for that thread, right? I mean, number of new replies would be even better, but then you have to like go in and update the notification or something like that. How about invoking a diplomacy between a player and a neutral? That would be interesting. You could implement that with a mod. That would be my recommended way of seeing that feature come to light. It seems kind of overpowered. If you play it in like the early game, you could just stop somebody from expanding. But yeah, it makes sense that you'd be able to like stop a player from like attacking a neutral party. Because like in wartime, attacking a neutral is like a big offense. So like the idea behind that makes sense. I don't know if it's too interesting from a gameplay experience, but I'd have to try it. That'd be a good. That's a good mod idea right there. Mod authors, pay attention. Any ideas on how to improve AI? There's so many factors to worry about. Imagine having one that can play as well as advanced AI in a simpler game like chess. Yeah, I mean, the AI is one of those things that could always be better, right? Like, there's no limit to how good you can make the AI. In my opinion, the AI we have right now is good enough for what it is. Certainly, it's not great, but also the AI is hard to change because if you improve the AI, you invalidate every single player level. Like all of these levels and all the community levels too are tuned against the current AI. So if we make the AI better, basically all these levels have to be rebuilt. And there's 19,000 of them. It's not going to happen. If you make the AI smarter, some of the levels that were really difficult could become impossible. Now you could introduce a new AI and grandfather it in or something like that. So you can do things like that. But so and the AI is open source too. If anyone wants to, take their crack at writing open source, it is open source. It's on GitHub. It's right here. Whoa, I'm zoomed in. So yeah, that is a thing anyone can do. It was about writing the mod code during the game. I'm working on source system to accomplish this. Why are the videos from the previous AMAs not available on Twitch/YouTube? May they be available to the public? Mostly because I never bothered uploading them. Maybe I should, though. Maybe I'll upload this one. Maybe you're watching this on YouTube right now, and you can thank Smith5 for this comment. Otherwise, you would not be watching this right now. Leave a comment. Thanks Smith5. Why does Warzone force me to Warzone Idle every time I open the app? Okay, you can configure that. So if you open the app and go to... Where's my standalone? Wrong. No, that's the right folder. Standalone. Come here. Okay. If you go to the top right button... Oh, look at that. Actually, I've been trying to repro that bug. Somebody told me there's a bug where sometimes they can't click the top right button. And I've been trying to repro it. I just now reproed it for the first time. I'm going to have to work on that. I think if you make your window smaller, you can click it, but sometimes you can't click it. Anyway, if you come in here, the very top setting, startup screen, idle. You can change whether you want idle or classic to be what it starts up as. There you go. 3 options implementing the order filter. Pop up with selectable orders. Sort and filter existing orders by country. Highlight orders in the window by selected country. Yeah, those are all great ideas. If you wish to create a group of people whose goal would be to develop a better AI, but it's going to be time consuming. Yeah, if that's something you're interested in, you can go for it. Maybe levels of AI. Yeah, I mean, you could have different levels of AI. The way you do difficulty right now, this is a question I get asked a lot actually, is people want to know, like, how do you control different levels of AI? The way you do it now is just how many AIs you're teamed against, right? If you want a harder game, add more AIs. There you go. You got a harder game. If you want an even harder game, team up all those AIs together like this. Oops. Have it be 1 versus 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 1 versus 8. That'd be practically impossible game right here. Unless you have, weird settings that give you an advantage. So you can make AI more challenging just by making more of them and teaming them up. Or the other way of doing it is go into the custom scenario builder and just like make them start with more armies, right? You could be like, you start with 5,000 armies. You can make Prod 3PO do the same as what's done with Prod 3. Yes, you're right. We can make a mod for the orders. Shouldn't it be hard? Okay. Thank you for creating this game. I wanted to know, why did you make this game and why name the game Warzone? You're welcome. I'm glad you enjoyed the game. I created this game back in 2008, mostly because I wanted to play it, honestly. Like, I was playing other Risk-like games on the internet, and I was really unsatisfied with them. Like, I liked the game, but I didn't like the interface. Like, I thought they made a lot of rookie mistakes, and I thought I could do a lot better. So one day I did, and I just started building it just for fun. And I never intended for it to be this big. Like, I thought I would work on it for a few months, play a couple games with my friends, and then ditch it and move on to something else. Like, that was my intention when I started it. But I had so much fun working on it, I just kept adding to it. And it just kept growing, and eventually I was able to quit my job and make it my full-time job, and I've been working on it for 14 years now. And I hope to continue working on it for the rest of my life. And why name the game Warzone? I just like the name. I think it's a good name. And I was able to get the domain name, warzone.com. It's important to me that since the game is a web-based game, you play it on the website. You can play it on the website as well as the app. I thought it'd be, I want to get a domain. I want to get a name that I have the .com domain for. I was able to get warzone.com, so I got it and I named it that. Okay, going back to the update. So, where did we leave off? Fixed. Okay, this is just a little bug fix. Sometimes the custom scenario button that I actually just showed, coincidentally, this button was here even when you were selected a normal distribution. Normally, it's supposed to only be there when you select on custom. So that was a bug fix. Okay, so this is such a small thing listed in the notes here. When viewing the large map in 3D, it uses higher resolution backgrounds. This is something that actually was a lot of work. In fact, of everything that was released in this update, this was the majority of the work right here for this one item, unfortunately. It's such a minor, small thing, but it was a huge amount of work. Mostly because I had to learn a lot of stuff. Picked up the game with a couple of old Risk friends. We love the game. Keep up the good work. Thanks. I'm glad you enjoy it. Let me show off a screenshot if I can find it. I should have prepared this. Professional streamer here. Oh yeah, here we go. So here's an example of a map that exists. If you're on iOS or Android and you load this particular map in 3D mode, I should talk about what 3D mode is, but this is what it looks like today. And with the new updates, let me get the correct one here. This is what it looks like now. As you can see, it is vastly clearer and higher resolution. It's actually usable, whereas before it's just like a blurry mess. You can't even read it. Now it's actually nice and crisp. So that's a good improvement. Where did the standalone go? I already closed it. No, where is it? Here it is. I should leave it open. So, and in case you don't know what I'm talking about, 3D Maps is a setting that you can enable in the Unity app, which basically means iOS or Android or the standalone. Basically anywhere but the website, where, oh yeah, here's this map. So here we go. Oh, this is the old one, I think. Yeah. So this is that map. But yeah, So it is clearer now. That's all it is. But yeah, it was a lot of work. It's a lot of work because there's a maximum texture size. And this was already the maximum texture size. So I had to basically split up the map into a bunch of smaller textures, render each one individually, and then retessellate every map into 3D mode. So that's why it was a lot of work. But yeah, high resolution now. Where did I leave off? Warzone is such a pinnacle. Race, well done there. Thanks. I'm glad you enjoy it. Thanks to heavens, all sacred Fizzer made Warzone. Thank you for the clan war matchmaking change. Any other? We'll talk about that in a minute. But any other plans for updating clan wars, like adding in new templates, maybe rotating templates per season? I do want to do those things. Yes, I do think clan wars needs some sort of way of changing up the templates, or like rotating templates per season. I do think those are great ideas. I don't know exactly how that's going to happen yet, which is the main reason it's not been done. I have a lot of ideas the way it could happen, but none of them really seem that great to me. So it's something I need to continue thinking about and figuring out how we're going to do that. But yes, I agree that's something that I would like to do. What kept you motivated to work on Warlight in the first few years? I mean, when I decided ultimately that I was going to make it my job, I mean, the very beginning, it was just for fun because I wanted to play the game. And then at some point I decided, I'm going to make this my job. I'm going to quit my job. I'm going to do this full time. And then it's motivation to stay alive, right? Like if I quit my job and I can't make enough money to keep the game alive and keep myself alive to pay my rent, then that's pretty big motivation. But yeah, the biggest motivation is just because I want to play the game and because I enjoy working on it and it's fun. Like I like shipping new features and seeing people enjoy them. Clan war change was skipped. Oh, you're right. Thank you for pointing that out. I'll get back to that in a second. Wish I could create mods. You can always, never too late to learn. I love the game a bit too much. Been playing since I was a child. Started and decided to make an account, start playing online in 2015. Cool. I'm glad you enjoy it. Why do you have the voice of a Dom Daddy mixed with a young Morgan Freeman? Good question. Will 3D map making come to the website? That is something I want to do. 3D map making, the bigger thing I want to do is just rendering of 3D maps on the website. And yeah, if you could render 3D maps on the website, you could also make 3D maps on the website. But that is something I want to do. It's going to be a huge project, because I got to make... The website uses a completely separate rendering engine from the Unity app. And the website today uses a canvas. It doesn't support 3D at all. So it'd have to be completely rewritten from scratch using WebGL. And that's going to be a big, big project. It is something I do want to do, though. It is something I'm thinking about. Fantastic game. Congrats on your success. Thanks. I'm glad you enjoy it. Did the actual effect of 3D maps feature on the user base engagement meet your initial expectations? So 3D maps is still in a very, very early stage. I should talk about where 3D maps is going. Let me just open a notepad window here. So 3D maps is going to go through a few different phases. Phase 1, actually I have these somewhere written down. Phase 1. Yeah, I have these. Make sure I'm not revealing anything I don't want to reveal. So, phase 1 of 3D maps. This is 3D maps. Phase 1 was map makers only. You might remember this was a few updates ago. Phase 2 is members only, but there's a checkbox in your settings that allow you to go turn it on. That's where we are today in the production app. Phase 3, which just launched a couple days ago, is like phase 2, except there's a little pop-up that comes up that asks, do you want to try 3D mode? And we actually haven't got here yet. This is on the list, but yeah, where'd my notepad go? So this is basically to raise awareness to members that might not know, because most people aren't going to go into the settings and dig down and try to find a checkbox. So starting with this update, which hasn't quite gone out to iOS or Android yet, but it will in the next week or so, members are going to get a little pop-up saying, do you want to try 3D mode? And then if they click yes, then they'll be in 3D mode. They can still go into the settings and turn it off or on at any time, but this will finally start rolling it out. People actually start using it at this point, because right now it's basically only for enthusiasts that dig into the settings. Phase 4, which will come in a future update, is basically the same as phase 3, except for non-members can use it as well. only if they sign up for at least a few days. So most people will get that pop up and basically, or can go into the settings and turn 3D maps on or off at will, even if you're not a member. So that's when 3D maps are really going to start taking off. Phase 5, when it will start taking off even more, is just it's on by default. Like literally, if you install the app brand new, you'll just have 3D maps. It will start to be the normal way maps are going. So 3D maps are still in a very early phase right now. Right now we're in phase 2. We're about to enter phase 3. But it won't be until phase 5 when 3D maps become really heavily used. I think that's a duplicate message. I've never played a game before more than 10... Wait. I've never played before a game more than 10 years than I play Warzone. Cool. Yeah, me too, Lionheart. Glad you enjoy it. I like 3D maps. My computer doesn't. It looks cool. Yeah. They do require a slightly more powerful device. So 3D maps will always be... It'll always be possible to turn off 3D maps and go back to 2D, because I realize some people won't have a device for it. And that's part of the reason we're rolling it out slowly is... I might need to add some detection in here to say, like, is your device powerful enough to support 3D maps? And if not, don't use them. I'm also thinking about, like, maybe having a setting. Instead of being on or off, you could be, like, on for small maps or something like that. Is there a game setting for when you eliminate someone that you get their current cards? I think that was a rule in Risk-style games. That is a rule in the classic Risk board game. There is not a built-in setting for that in Warzone. And there's not a mod either, although that's something that could be created as a mod. I did not include it mostly because, honestly, I don't like that rule about Risk. I don't think that's a good rule in Risk. It just encourages you to eliminate people, which, I mean, if an online game, it's not too big of a deal, but in a board game, player elimination sucks, because then that person just has to sit there and watch everyone else play, and that's boring. When creating a map, I'm always afraid that if I tick the "I really tested it" boxes too fast, it will be sorted out. But such a mechanism does not exist, right? No, it does not detect how long you take to tick the boxes. But you should make sure you actually do test it. Warlight, I remember when it used to be Warlight. Those were the days, yes. Those were the days. Thinking about clan war changes, let us know your ideas for changing up clan wars. I'm interested in hearing what maybe we can have some blanks in the details. Yeah. Sure. I don't know if you're talking to me or other people. Now that we have tanks, when reduce the one tank must stand card. I told him to pop and say hi, so hi. Hi, Mick Lolo. Hello, everyone. If you ever want to start modding, just message me. Cool. Subscribed with Prime. They're on a 3-month streak. Wow, thank you. You're my only subscriber. Guest, NWHSZY, if that is your real name. Monty does not ask you to do hard coding. If you have a certain degree of persistence, you should be able to learn enough to create the most mods even from scratch. Yeah, if you're into coding at all, modding should be pretty straightforward, I hope. Taking cards of eliminated players, one of the worst features of Risk. I have lots of community members. What is the next major update will be? I haven't figured that out yet. I have a bunch of ideas, but I'm still finishing this update. Like, it's not even out on the apps yet, so it's a little too early to start thinking about that. Modding is more efficient modding people than talking to me. If I have the clan wires, you're thinking of want to know. Basically, I'm thinking of a way to mix up the templates. Great game, thanks. I'm glad you enjoy it. Okay, let's go back to the blog. So, Clan War randomizes the orders of a single player clan for matchmaking. This is something that was requested on the user voice forum. If you're not familiar with the Warlight user voice or the Warzone user voice forum, it still has the word Warlight in the name in the URL, so that's why it trips me up. But wow, why does this look awful? Okay, zooming in fixes it. This is the official place where you can request features. Windows Phone Client. Shouldn't we get rid of this? Does anyone care about this? Should I delete this idea? Isn't the Windows Phone dead? Does anybody still use a Windows phone? Just need to clean this up. But yeah, this is the official place to request new features. Somebody requested a feature around Clan War matchmaking. Basically, I consider there's a bug where it was like matching players based on their account age. Basically, it was matching older players against higher rated clans, which was not intentional. So it's been randomized now. So the age of your account no longer has any impact on what type of matches you get in Clan Wars. So I've been asked, are there any thoughts into putting filters into searching for single player maps? For example, show all maps between 200 and 500 territories. That would be a good feature. Go ahead. This is again where use the Warzone user voice forum, submit the feature, and then you can vote for other people's features and other people can vote for your features. I agree that would be a good feature. There's no downside to adding something like that. It just has to get prioritized against everything else. You mentioned that adding a height map for 3D maps will be possible in the future. Is it already? Yeah, it is. If yes, will it be inside of Inkscape as well? No, it is not inside of Inkscape. It's done as a separate image. So you have to upload like a PNG image that has like different colors for different areas of the map. And I think like white is a really high mountain and black is like a really low elevation. And you can upload that image along with your map and it will give a height map. I can show off what that looks like. Like if I go to past games. And there's a video on the blog showing more. This is a map with height map. It's hard to tell, but you can see in here there's like mountain ranges and stuff. How do I get to the 3D view? I have to go to view map, free camera. Here we go. This is how you show it off. You can see this is a map with height maps. It just has little mountains, ridges. They're kind of hard to see actually, but it does have different heights. This is what a 3D map looks like if you haven't seen one before. Okay, where are they off? I'd love to learn about mine, how to do it. Last experience with coding the Visual Basic Trophy 10 years ago in high school, passed with a B+. Hey, that's a good grade, so you're already on your way. Basic is the first language I ever coded in as well, unless you count like batch files, but yeah, I started in QBasic and DOS. Volunteering my time for map and mod testing is how I serve. Cool. Yeah, that's great. Testing is always needed for maps and mods. I missed when the time warp impacted the time warp itself. Oh, you mean the artifact, not the power. It got fixed like it was a bug, but fine logic, it should affect the effect itself. Yeah, it was just a little too overpowered. If the time warp artifact affects its own cooldown. This tournament has players start with 0 armies per turn and 0 starting armies. Hence, every game is a stalemate at the start by default. What is the future of the tournament? Probably a lot of boots, would be my guess. That sounds like a really silly tournament. I love it. Okay, so we already talked about this. Members get a balloon asking about 3D maps. And then the rest of it is all mod stuff. So I already talked about most of the mod stuff that we added. There's some other stuff in here, like you can highlight territories, you can create circles on the map, you can test if something's destroyed. I'm not going to go into all these in super detail. Maybe I'll show off. Can I show off? Let's see. Is this going to work? Let's see. Single player. Single player. Custom game. No start new game. Change mods. Show. It's not going to work. I don't think this is the... No, that's the tank mod. What is this? No, that's... What about this? No, okay. I don't have it set up to show off, but I was going to show off the circles, but I'd have to like create a mod and do it. Anyway, you can just... It's the same thing as like when you click on a territory in chat. It just creates a circle that like shrinks onto a spot. Been playing Warzone 4 years, almost nonstop with my friends. Love the game. Thanks. I'm glad you enjoy it. Background music is distracting. Oh, well. That song just ended. My playlists sometimes have different volumes levels on each song, which is kind of annoying. And I agree that one was pretty loud. But that one's over now. How do we get promoted odds to be able to use in tournaments? This is something that I do want to improve. Right now there's this flag on a mod called Trusted. Some mods are trusted and some are not. And only trusted ones can be used in tournaments and quick match. You can see, where does it say? I guess it's when you're in a game. But yeah, that is something that needs to be improved. And I have an item on my list to do something better with that. But yeah, if you have a mod that you feel is really rock solid and it hasn't been changed in a long time, it's been very, very well tested, you can mail me and I will consider adding it as a trusted mod that we can use in tournaments. But in the future, we're going to have a better system for that. I can see that your creativity when it comes to naming mods is comparable to mine. I don't know if that's a compliment or an insult. Do you have the fixed issue with reloading the code? Oh, do you have a fixed issue with reloading the code? I have a mod that uses conversion. Yeah, just Dutchman, I have found that bug. There's a bug right now with reloading a code that has spaces in the file name or in the folder name. I'm going to have that fixed today. That will be fixed today. I've already figured out that it has to do with spaces in the name of the folder. So I know how to fix it. I just need to do it and deploy it. So yes, I will get that fixed today. That test game I just lost because the mod stopped protecting me from the AIs. That sucks. Don't let my clan war down. Play now. Uh-oh, I'm on stream. I can't do it. Is it? What time is it? 101? Is it really right now? Community. Clan wars. Yeah. Oh no. Alright, we'll do auto dist because it's on stream. Turn my audio on. Okay. And then, okay, 7 minutes. I'll remember to come back to that. So a bunch of mod stuff. You can see, you can now see if a mod created an order. So this is something that might be interesting to non-modders. If you're in a game that has mods, you can go to the order panel. Not this game. You can double click on it on the right side and it will tell you which mod created. That's all it means. Oh, that's this one. Yeah, and this gives mods the ability to control the camera, is all this one is. And a bunch of little bug fixes for mods. Nothing too significant, just a bunch of mod stuff. Let's see. I know there's more questions to go over on the forum. And then I'm keeping an eye on this. 6 minutes. Okay, I don't want to forget. Questions. What is your favorite Warzone clan feature? Clan Wars would be my favorite Warzone clan feature. Which feature has most exceeded your expectations in terms of how the community has used it? I would say map making by a long shot. Like I made this design maps thing where you could make your own map on the website. You all know about this, but there was a time before this existed and I had people asking me to make maps. So I'm like, all right, I'll add a map making thing into the game. And the end result is we have 2,658 maps. I almost said 2,058 amazing maps. But no, we have 2,058 maps, a large percentage of which are absolutely amazing, and a large percentage of which are way better than anything I could make. So that has exceeded my expectations. How'd you decide which level the commanders would unlock at? I mostly just looked at the level reward list and picked a level that I thought was unexciting and needed to be improved. That was somewhat in the range of, in the middle. I didn't want it to be like a level 1 feature. I didn't want it to be like a level 50 feature. I wanted it to be somewhere in the middle. Is the Intel move Rufus discovered a bug? I did look at this. This is a cool discovery. This is basically, it's a very minor mechanic thing you can do where you can insert like a zero order at the end of your turn. And it might, in some cases, help you discover the move order, which can be beneficial. I would not say it's a bug. I would say it is an unintentional side effect of the implementation. But it's quite clever. I'm pretty impressed by who discovered it. The one thing I wish that Rufus had said in this thread, who discovered it, because he just said, it has been discovered. Well, who discovered it? Give credit. Why no multi-day clan wars? Yeah, I mean, this is... multi-day clan wars certainly makes sense. Really, the main reason is that we already had a multi-day competition in ladders, and we didn't have any real-time competitions when I went to create clan wars, so I thought it was a good opportunity to do that. But yeah, I agree that's kind of an arbitrary answer, or an arbitrary logic to that answer. So you could have multi-day clan wars. Maybe if there's enough demand for it, something like that could potentially happen someday, but it's not something I'm looking at doing right now. To populate use of mods, I demand a clan war template that uses the fort or tank mod. Is this possible? Right now, Clan Wars does not support mods. It is something that I would like to add in the future. I don't know of a strategic fort or tank mod yet. One of the a template using those mods would have to get popular. That would probably have to be the very first step towards this happening. Favorite letter of the alphabet? I'm gonna have to say Q. I don't know. I just made that up off the top of my head. Any template without a real world topography. You saw your maps. You're famous. Featured on Twitch, on Fizzer stream. As seen on Twitch. Twitch needs the option to edit messages for people that are bad at typing. Yeah, like Twitter. What is a mystery sort? What is the mystery sort for maps on the map page? Oh, I think I know what you're talking about. You're talking about this blank one? Yeah, this actually comes, I think, I would have to check the code to be sure. But what I think this is this, I remember there's a sort option in the code that I probably should get rid of. And I think this is that. It's probably a bug. It shouldn't be here. But I think it's from way, way, way back in the day. We're talking 2008, 2009, when Warzone only had like 12 maps or something like that. This one's from 2010. But way back in the day when Warzone only had like 12 maps, I used to manually sort them. Like I had a list of maps, sort order, that I thought were like most appealing. So like Earth was at the top, and Small Earth and Europe. These are like the 3 most popular maps back when we only had like 12 maps. Yeah, and I think this is still that. I should probably get rid of this. I should make a note for that. It's like, get rid of that old code, because it doesn't make sense anymore. Let's see. I'll make a note of this. Remove manual sort. Map sort system. But yeah, I don't think I ever updated it. Maybe I updated it. So I don't know why Drakemore World's at top. I mean, yeah, it's an old map, but I would not have put Drakemore World ahead of Earth. Earth, though, is like, this was the premier map for many, many years in the early days of this game. Because it's just like, it was the best Earth map at the time. Rufus discovered it? Cool. Multi-day clan wars is clan league. Oh yeah, that's the other reason, is we already had a multi-day clan war system. And that's Clan League. It's run by the community. It's not run by me. But so I didn't want to compete with Clan Leagues. That's the other reason I didn't make multi-day clan wars. Thank you for reminding me of that. He brought up the Master Fast Clean. I'll bring it up in the forum. I've been wanting to share. Tournaments were top. I've been wanting to share. Tournaments were top or 3 players from each game progresses, not teams. This would make diplomacy tournaments a big thing. That sounds like a cool idea. You can implement that, or somebody with coding experience could implement that using the Warzone APIs. Haven't been able to make jump to action spot work yet. Okay, I'll look into that. I'll test it and make sure it works. Okay. Do you plan on adding mod support for mega games? That is something I want to do, yes. I I can show off. Can I show off? Where is that thing? So I've been making progress towards it. Oh. Thank you, Opera, for playing my sound. I completely forgot about the Clan Wars game. I would have gotten booted. As I said twice, I'm going to remember this. And then I forgot. Okay, well, this is probably going to be a quick game. Let's see. It's good. It'll give me some time to look up this thing. Where do I have... Oh, I actually don't have it exposed anywhere. All right, no, I can't show it off. Okay, what I was going to show off was I am starting now to collect data on mod performance, like how fast each mod executes. And it's collected in the database. It's not exposed anywhere. I thought I had a page that like showed it off, and I was going to show that page, but now I realized I do not have a page for that yet. So I could show off like a database query, but that's not going to be exciting. But yeah, the big issue with mods in mega games is making sure they work without crashing, without like timing out or something like that. Because many mods are inefficient and they like loop through every order in the game and stuff like that, or get executed for every order in the game. And if you have a game with 300 players, many mods will just time out. And if they time out, the game is broken. And then that means all 300 players are now stuck in a game that's broken, which is a bad experience. So it's part of my job is making sure that does not happen. And so, I need to do some work to like measure performance of mods, and you know, mods that perform very well could work in mega games and they could be allowed. But until I figure out which mods are okay to use and which ones aren't, they're just disabled completely. But that is something that I need to do, and that will eventually happen, I hope. Thanks again. You're welcome. 1 minute to Clan War. Get on my game. Clan War starting in 30 seconds. Oh my god, it's already started. Let's hope Origin does watch streams. Yeah, hopefully he's an honorable player and does not watch the stream. Uh-oh, I'm going to see him. He's taking Europe. Shh, don't tell him. Okay. Yo, I thought you were streaming. I assume the page will be public at some point for mod creators. Yeah, I do want to feed mod performance data back to the mod owners. Hello, I'm Roger Sandell in Warzone. Nice to find you here. Hello, Roger Sandell. Nice to find you here as well. Okay, what were we talking about? Can we do a community contest for the new Clan War template that must use mods? You are welcome to do that yourself and come up with a popular mod template. I can't guarantee it'll get into Clan Wars, but you should. We should make some popular strategic templates using mods. Absolutely, that's something somebody should do. Is the Warzone trophy for creating a beautiful map still awarded? And what is the criteria that makes a map beautiful? So there is a trophy called Created a Beautiful Map. Basically, my criteria for this trophy is the map must be one of the top 5 most beautiful maps in the entire game at the point at which it is created. So by definition, this trophy gets harder and harder to get over time because each time the bar goes up. So while it is possible to get, it's not likely you're gonna get it. Let's do this. Okay, as the saying goes, be using the benefits holder. That is how the saying goes. Community effort to change Clan War format. Discord link. Matchmaking. If a clan has to play a very low Clan Wars rating and 2 player... Hold on, I don't want to fall behind in the chat. The criteria to get now is to be better than Lionheart. Yes, that is part of the criteria. Also, I should be playing this here. Let's get some 3D maps going. Not everyone knows what this 3D maps look like. Okay, that looks way better. What do I do here? I think I just do this. And here, and here. Oops. My volume is way too low. Oh, okay. Should have used my card. Crushes Orange Wars in 3D. Anyone have the bug on standalone where you can't click on the top right, or just for me? I've heard some people report that. I just reproed it for the first time earlier on stream. Yeah, see, if my window is maximized, I can't click on the top right. But if it's not maximized, I can. It seems to be only when it's maximized. I'll have to look into that. Would it possibly make the level of opacity of the texture in 3D maps configurable in the client? I mean, the map maker can configure it in the client. Do you mean by the end user? Let's, how do I want to do this? I think I'm going to do it like this. I'm actually going to try to delay more here. Oh, what's the move order? He is first move, so him, and then these two, and then I'm going to do this for an extra delay. Okay. Fine. Is the 3D textures for moving armies new or not? I've only seen comments of surprise edit recently. The 3D textures for moving armies. Oh, you're talking about how the arrows are like fly out in 3 dimensions? No, it's actually not new, but it was really hard to tell in 2D mode because it was really hard to tell because you had a top-down view. Extra delay, extra delay. Probably not necessary, but... Ooh, 14 in Brazil. Is this the first 300-player FFA with Fizzer? I think I'm only in one 300-player FFA. Maybe 2. But possible to see the number of moves is kind of annoying to count them when you have to tell a teammate when an attack is about to happen. Oh, yeah, that's an interesting idea. Currently, it is not possible, but it is something that could be added if you want to submit that to user voice. That would be an acceptable idea. Sorry, I'm focusing on 2 things at once here. Okay. While we're waiting, let's go to questions. They're nearly guaranteed to have one of them not have a game and a free win, regardless how many opponents are present. Yeah, that's a side effect of the way that the Clan Wars matchmaking works. Oh, shoot. Oh, good. Come on, my one. My one. I only attacked North Africa with one, and I'm pretty sure he has Africa bonus. Yeah. Oh, he's got 5. He's got 6 here. 13, 14. That's good. All right, this should be GG. Oh. Let's see. Let's run down here. Let's run here. Let's attack here. Let's... just one. Move this down. Can you see everyone's clan chats when you want to, or is it private to you? I mean, I could look at somebody's clan chats, but I never have, and I don't think I ever would. Frankly, it's not that interesting. I don't know if it's that interesting. I never looked at it. I'm not interested in it. Let's put it that way. All right, this should be over. Let's see. Don't die. Good advice. If Orange stalls without surrendering, he is declared public enemy. Orange won't surrender, by the way. Why not? It's fine. We can always go to autopilot. Probably next turn we'll go to autopilot. It's just his thing. He doesn't surrender? Come on. I'm pretty sure I've played him before, haven't I? Getting common games. Clan Wars versus Orange Wars. Yeah, see, he surrendered. Last time I played him. And when was this? September 27th? That's just like a month ago. I have to look at the calendar. I have to look at the date. He surrenders. Alright, we autopilot now. Nothing less the worst than losing to autopilot on a streaming event. Have I ever joined a Diplo game? Sure, I've played it before. It's not something I do often, but I have. Okay, rewards. Near the end of the season, ranking is almost entirely set in stone. It means very little reward continuing to participate. Well, there's 2 sets of rewards in Clan Wars. There are if you go to the rewards section, there's some rewards you get for getting a good rank, like 1st, 2nd, 3rd, 5th, 9th, 20th. There you go, he surrendered. GG. But then there's also these rewards you get for just getting certain numbers of territories. So even if you can't change your rank, you can still get rewards by just getting territories. So it should never be completely... You should never get in a scenario where you completely can't get any more rewards by playing more. If you make a big cooperative game event, you should make sure nobody can hurt their group by doing bad actions. Clan Wars caps violates that principle? Several capped Clan Ward focused clans have met with a decision whether to kick people into the clan who don't participate in Clan Wars. I mean, you're not hurting your group by participating in Clan Wars. I mean, if you have a 40-person clan, then everyone can participate because you can have 40 people in Clan Wars. So even a loss, even if somebody plays a Clan War game and loses, it still helps your clan because it lowers your rating and gives you easier matches for the other people that are playing. So I don't think that's true. Does this Twitch mean more Captain of Industry? I was not planning on playing Captain of Industry. I do love that game though. I've been playing it a lot. I'm kind of done with it now though. I've played 2 entire playthroughs and built a mega factory, and it is an amazing game. I highly recommend it. If you like the factory building genre, like the Factorio genre, I recommend Captain of Industry. It's absolutely amazing. I made the following suggestion. Secondary open seats. Secondary open seats. The host add another type of open seat with different prerequisites. That's kind of weird. Yeah, no, it could be an interesting idea. I don't know if I see the appeal myself, but if it gets enough votes, it was something I would consider. I would like to ask the following questions and would appreciate the best opportunity in the stream. Instead of win the match for arena awards, can it be play the match instead? Sometimes it's hard to get a win on. I've pretty much given up on ever trying to see these template matches, so I cannot prefer to change the thought process. The problem is if you give someone the reward just for playing instead of having to win, is then they just will join the game and surrender just to get the reward. Like, you should be playing to win. Like, that is the whole idea of the game. So I think you should need to get a win to get the reward. But I understand that not everyone can play Warzone Classic. Some people like Warzone Idle only and not Classic. And for those people, I would say, hey, just skip the arena. It's totally fine. The arenas are designed to be skippable. Like, when I was first designing Warzone Idle, I had an idea to make it required to beat the arena. Like, instead of paying armies to get the territory and having the arena be optional as it is now, I had the idea to make it so that you wouldn't even get that territory until you beat the arena. But then I was like, well, there are going to be some people that just either don't like Warzone Classic or they aren't skilled enough at Warzone Classic to win. So I'll just make it, so I decided to change it to the way we have now, where the arena, you can still beat the level without winning the arena. The arena is just an extra reward. So the arenas are skippable. If it's too hard for you to beat a template, then just skip it. It's totally fine. If a mod turns one client order into multiple orders on the server, is the move order preserved? I believe the answer is yes. I would have to test it to be sure, but the move order is not changeable by anything a mod does. What is your plan for custom images? You're talking about like the tank images, or the special unit images like the tank that we showed off earlier. Oh, that's nice of Orange. He let us win for the show. It's good. Good game. Good sport. I'm hoping for structures to avoid incompatibilities. More mods use them. Yeah, I do. I do think structures is an obvious use of the new images, and I do hope that happens at some point. I don't know exactly what the next feature is to get them. It's not something I've planned yet, but I do think structures is a good use for them. Can we see some modded templates get rotated into open games? It would be interesting. I want to see. Go ahead. I want to see some modded templates get really popular and see what the community likes and enjoys. The most popular modded template I know of right now is swap picks. Like, maybe that would be a wood. I don't know if rotating into open games is the right place for it. Like, maybe putting it into quick match. Like, open games, in my opinion, should be games that are created by people, by humans. I know there are some auto games, but that's kind of a legacy concept. At one point, I tried to get rid of the auto games, and everyone revolted, so I added them back. But I think open games at its core should be human-created games. But getting modded templates somewhere would be useful. Like, I think quick match should be a good place for them. What is the point of mod print in development tab? I never got it to work when testing mods on the browser. Also couldn't get reloading code. So in the standalone client, you can press Control-Shift-W. You get this mod log where anything a mod prints will show up here. This feature is not currently supported on the browser, or rather, not directly. There is a way to get your print statements on the browser, but it's kind of funky. You have to go into your development console and change stuff. So it's not really, and it's not documented anywhere. But if you really need to use it, you can send me a mail and I can show you how to use it. Eventually, I hope to get mod printing print statements to show up on the browser somewhere official. Couldn't get reloading code to sync between browser and standalone client. I don't know if you're talking about public mod or a development mod. Well, development mods don't work on the browser, so you're probably talking about a public mod. I don't know what you mean by couldn't get it to work. You have to send me some repro steps telling me exactly what you're doing. 2v2 arena is not too hard to beat, but it's too hard to have the patience to wait for getting a match. Yeah, I know, that's a problem. It's a self-fulfilling prophecy, because if too many people see that 2v2 arena fills slowly, then they stop queuing for it, and then it causes it to queue slower, so it becomes a death spiral. 10,000 coin raffle, you say? Sweet, sign me up. What is the total amount of coins flowing around in the Warzone world? I don't know. I could do a database query and answer that question, but I do not know. What is the chance in percents that the 1,000 coins from the coin wheel? It's a pretty low percentage. I don't know what it is off the top of my head. I would have to look it up. And development mods? Well, development mods don't work on the website at all yet. That is something I'm planning on doing. Development mods should work on the website. I'm going to announce something about that on the blog, hopefully in the next week or so. Can we have more than 5 custom images for special units? Yes, possibly. There is a limit on the number of special unit images you can have, mostly because in the Unity client, the way that you have to get images into the shader for displaying on the map is really funky. You have to like render it into a big texture, and you have to like tile them and reference them by coordinates and stuff. There's a whole lot of work I had to do to get special unit images into the Unity client, and there is a hard cap on the number of images that a client can display. And it's not an exact number, it's based on the size of them, which is the other reason that they're very small. But so there is a limit. That's the reason I set a limit to 5. It could be raised somewhat, but it's never going to be infinite. Well, I shouldn't say never, but in the current implementation, it cannot be infinite. Maybe I can find a way on rendering more, but when is Flunky Finisher signing up for Clan League 16? I don't know. We're not a competitive clan, but I would like to play in Clan League someday. I don't know. I don't know how that would happen. I don't know if it would happen with the Flunky Fizzers clan, or I don't think I want to join a different clan, but I would like to experience it someday. Bring back 100 coin raffles, or make it a free lottery. Bring back 100 coin raffles. I don't think 100 coin raffles were ever a thing. I mean, there are super raffles in the chat room. I don't think they get quite up to 100, but they get like, what are they, like 70 usually? Or are you talking about in the stream? Yeah, I should do giveaways in the stream. I need to set up like a system for it. Okay, where did we leave off? What is this? Oh. What is the exact advantage of using an ELO-based rating system comparable to MTL in competitive formats like the 1v1 ladder? The exact disadvantage of using an ELO-based rating system? I don't know what you mean by what is the exact disadvantage. The 1v1 ladder does use an ELO-based rating system. It uses a rating system called Bayeslo, B-A-Y-E-S-E-L-O, which is based on ELO, so it is ELO-based. The mathematical argument provided in the past that player base was too small was proven wrong repeatedly by examples. I don't know what you're talking about. The ladders do use ELO-based rating system. It's based on Bayeslo, which is an ELO-based rating system. I don't know what you mean by asking what's the exact disadvantage of it. The advantage of using an ELO-based rating system over like a straight win system is people get more benefit by beating good players and less benefit by beating bad players. Like, you don't want it to just be straight wins versus losses. You want an ELO-based rating system so that people are rewarded for beating good players. Otherwise, you're only incentivized to play bad players. Have you ever considered changing the controversial clan wars system or the clan cap? Sure, I consider everything all the time. Is it okay for several templates to dominate clan quick match and clan wars for that long? Ever considered a change? I have talked about that for clan wars, yes, already on the stream. Is it okay for several templates to dominate quick match? I do want to change the quick match voting system at some point. I don't know what the new system looks like, but I do think there needs to be more variety in the quick match templates. I don't know exactly how we do that or what it looks like, but at some point, yes, I do think that is a good thing to change. I do like tanks. You did 50 to 99 coin raffles and you missed one that could go to... Oh, that's still true. If nobody votes on a raffle, those coins get added to the next raffle. That's still true. That nothing's changed about that. It's just probably that people are so on the raffle now that there's probably rarely a missed one. The first raffle you did ever was 200 coins? Oh, I forgot. That might be true. Can we write to the custom unit or try to modify his health, but it's not possible? You have to create a new custom unit using the builder class and then change the health and then add it. He's asking why it isn't plain ELO. Oh, well, the reason for that is just go to the Baselo website and they have a whole explanation for why they feel it's better than plain ELO. Hey man, I've realized that in auto distribution games, sides get to see each other in the first 2 to 3 turns, no matter what size of map. Is the auto distribution bugged? Has this been happening over the past year? Auto distribution just means random. Or auto distribution, yeah. So it all depends on what settings you use on your template. It's not bugged. Also, what's the news on the lawsuit with Activision? Yeah, there has been a lot going on with the lawsuit. But unfortunately, I can't talk about it too much. Like, I really want to. I've been trying to... I actually wrote up a whole update I was going to release publicly. And my lawyer's like, no, you shouldn't publish that. I'm like, oh, well, why not? And so I've been having a huge discussion with him. Trying to provide an update on it. I did take down the GoFundMe. You might notice it's not on the website anymore. I can't talk about exactly what's happening. It is unpaused now. Last time I streamed, I said it was paused. It is unpaused. It is finally proceeding. And there's lots of stuff happening. I hope to get to talk about it someday, but right now my lawyer doesn't want me to, so I'm trying to be a good boy. There were a lot of 20 to 99 coin raffles, and global chat was booming. Gold in the streets, singing all around the world. And the website, you added mod development in the last update. However, this page is also accessible for non-members. Is that an oversight? Yeah, I should probably make it member only. I don't think you can actually do anything there as a non-member. I mean, I guess you can. Yeah, it should probably be member only. Thanks. That was an oversight. Yes. I'm hosting mega games or even just big team games like 20v20 or 10v10 v10v10. Unfortunately, it's only possible as multi-day game because real times can never fill up with this amount of players. If you can set the real-time games that start at a fixed time, I imagine it would be easier to fill up big games. What do you think about that? I think that's an interesting idea. We did try something like that with tournaments several years ago. Like you could schedule a real-time tournament to start at a specific time. And honestly, it didn't work too well. Like, people would sign up and then forget and then leave, and they wouldn't come back on that time. So in practice, I don't think it works very well, just based on my experience. But I like the idea. Obviously, I like the idea because I tried it. But in practice, I don't think it works out. The only unlockable thing on Unlockables that is unavailable to members is the Idle Super Camp. Is unavailable to members? As present, there are no idle advantages for buying a membership. Could we get it unlocked for members? So membership is kind of a Warzone Classic thing. Idle and Warzone Classic have some overlap, but like coins is an overlap. But then there's some features that are also specific to each one. So Warzone membership is a Warzone Classic thing. Super Camp is a Warzone Idle thing. There's no plans to have overlap for membership. There's no plans to bring membership to Warzone Idle. They're going to remain separate things. Shouldn't there be more screws used to craft higher developed items in Idle? Maybe. So Idle, yeah. Obviously, things in Idle don't really make sense. Idle levels are developed by an algorithm, not by a human. So you get into weird situations where it's like, oh, a single screw is worth $10 billion. Yeah. Will the Elitist Africa template in Quick Match ever be updated to have a newer version of the map? So Quick Match templates are decided by voting. So that's up to the community. They can come in here to the voting section and you can vote for whatever maps you want. So if you want to see Elitist Africa update, you should make a new template with the update, submit it to Quick Match, and then get everyone to vote for it. And I realize it's not a very good system because get everyone to vote for it is not a trivial thing, but it can be done. It is something that can be fixed by the community. While the topic of outdated things in Quick Match, how about making template votes expire when the user is inactive for more than a year? Yeah, so templates votes already expire when people are inactive for, I think, like 20 days or something like that, which you can confirm just by opening up arbitrary template, clicking on, oh, this doesn't have a link to their profile here. I thought it did. Go to Quick, maybe it does on the website. Voting. Click a random template. Who voted for Lotto? Yeah, I thought there was a link to people's profiles on this page, but you could confirm it by opening up these people's profiles and seeing that they're active. But yeah, it already happens when they're inactive. I think for 20 days. I might have the number wrong, but it's definitely less than a year. I don't think you want it increased to a year. I think you just didn't know that they already expire. And even with that, it's very hard for new templates to get high enough into Quick Match, which is unfortunate. So new templates would be really cool to actually play. Yeah, even with votes expiring, I agree. It's too hard to get new templates into Quick Match. Part of the problem is when you submit a new template, it only gets seen by people that come to the Quick Match voting section and change their sort to newest. And then you can see all the new templates that are been submitted lately, and most of them don't have very many votes. I agree there should be a better way of doing that. I don't know what it looks like or what the better way is. If anyone has any ideas, I mean, I have several ideas, but every idea has problems and doesn't seem great to me. But if anyone has ideas, they can try to bring them up. I do think needs to be a better way of doing Quick Match voting. The problem with Quick Match voting is this list gets very stale. Because sort by votes, go to page 1. Wait, what happened? Flight of Europa has 205 votes? Wow. The problem I was saying is this list gets very stale. Because Auto Imperium Romanium has been here forever. Rise of Rome has been here forever. Somehow Siege got voted up so high in Lotto. Wow. Maybe it's not as stale as I thought. But it is generally too stale. I agree. Where was I? Let me make sure I don't miss anything in chat. Pete's paying them coins for bribes. If I'm not mistaken, there's no extra setting to edit the randomness of auto distribution. Yes, auto distribution just means random. In whichever game I play with auto distribution, I land next to the person or opponent with teammate. I mean, what you should really do if you want to make sure you're not too close to people is you need to edit the distribution. Change distribution settings. So if you go to random warlords distribution, you can see the little image here. There's one spot per territory. So you will be or one spot per bonus. One eligible spot that you could be placed in for every bonus. So that kind of forces you to be a little bit more spread out. Some maps also have a normal warlords. Where's just the Earth map? If I go to change distribution settings, they have this warlords distribution where every spot is separate from all the other spots. You're guaranteed, if you use this distribution, to not be next to an opponent when you start. And of course, you can always use a custom scenario to put yourself even more spread out, if that's what you want. Quick Match voting system made you lose hope in humanity. Sad. I have a different section area at the first. Instead of sort being on the top right. Example, section 1 shows 5 to the newest maps. Yeah, that's a good idea. That's a simple thing that could be done. I like that idea. It may not completely solve the problem, but it would definitely help How many subs do I have on Twitch? I have no idea. I don't even know how you tell. I think I have one active sub. Okay. Okay. Last question. We're getting close to the end of the stream. Unless if you have any questions you want answered, you should ask them in stream now. Could it be possible in the future to have a voting list in Quick Match for members only? That would include only templates that members can play on, such as only members can vote on. For members, the top 3, for example, the list are added to the total amount of playable templates in Quick Match. You want a separate Quick Match list for members. This way members can have some special templates like swap picks. Oh yeah, so like modded templates. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Because right now modded templates can be submitted to Quick Match, but only members can play on them because mods are a member feature. At the moment, the non-member majority is simply too big to overcome and votes for members. Yeah, I see what you're saying. I agree. I think there is something like that should be done. I don't know exactly what it looks like. I don't know if having a separate list is the right way of solving it. It might be. I think there might be a better solution to that. But yeah, this is something I'm thinking about and want to see happen. It would allow members to get special advantage of the membership line visible display. Yeah, I think it's a good idea. I think something like that should happen. I don't know exactly what it's going to look like, but it is something I'm thinking about. Any plans for mods in Idle? I seem to remember you talking about wanting to do it. Any thoughts about them wanting to do it before? Yeah, it is an interesting idea. I don't know if it'll actually happen. I don't know what mods Idle would need or how exactly it would work. What would you want a mod in Idle to do? Can you make a coin game and lose it on purpose? Oh, you can make a coin game and lose it on purpose. An official way would be nice. Yeah, that is something that could eventually happen. I don't know. Maybe. Official way, but the tax included would be nice. Yeah. I don't know why you would need to take a tax on a transfer. I feel like if it's an official way of doing transfer, there shouldn't be a tax on it. I'm worried about people abusing that and somehow. I don't know. I'd have to give it some thought. Anyway, all right. I think that's all the questions. I answered everything in the thread. I went over everything in the update. Talked about user voice. Talked about mods. Refresh my forum. Oh, that's a good idea. I should refresh it. Oh my gosh. 5 more posts. Okay. We're in these 5 posts. And then we will wrap up the stream. Can you use the tank mod with multi-attack? Yeah, sure. It's just a special unit, just like you can use commanders with multi-attack. Who is my favorite player? What is my favorite? I can never name a favorite player. You're like my kids. I love all you guys. What is your favorite templates? I don't know. I like a lot of templates. I like... what templates do I play the most on Quick Match? No, that's not what I wanted. I wanted leaderboards. Can't really easily see. Yeah, I like Small Earth Auto Disc, and I like Small Earth One Wasteland. Is what I meant to say. I like basically all the Quick Match early templates. Those are my favorite templates. That's why I put them there. Will you ever improve the Fog Buster artifact? It's the most underpowered thing in the game right now. Yeah, it'd probably be a good idea to improve it. I agree. Will there ever be a Clan Wars API for us to get Clan War data the official way? Yeah, I think that would be a good feature to add. It's not something I've ever had a request for, which is the main reason I've never considered it. Is there any way to get 2v2 auto games and the old level B templates for achievement's sake? To get 2v2 auto games and the old level B template. 2v2 auto games, I said before, I'm not a big fan of auto games in general. I know there are some. I don't think they're a great feature, so I don't plan on ever bringing the 2v2 auto games back. I don't know what the level B template is. What's a level B template? You would have to tell me what that is. We talked about mods and idle. Any thoughts on this form mead I made? Sure. Sure. Looks great. Love it. Are you planning on nerfing anything in Idle? Can you give us a heads up? Nope, not planning on nerfing anything in Idle. Maybe I should nerf the Fogbuster artifact. There we go. You heard it here first. Fogbuster artifact nerfs incoming. Alright, so that's everything on the forum thread. I don't know what the level B template is either. It's one of the achievements? It is? You should send me a link to that. I don't know what you're talking about. Alright, everyone. Thanks so much for watching. I hope to see you in the next stream, probably after the next update. It's probably going to be my new normal thing, as I've been doing for a while. So, thanks everyone so much for watching. Thanks for playing. I hope you guys have fun. I hope you're enjoying Warzone. Hope to see you later. Peace.